Hello everyone, I'm Brandon Gasparino.
And I'm Samantha Salborn.
Welcome to another edition of Student News, where we cover multiple topics that take place in New Fairfield and our high school. Some of the topics we're going to cover today are blocked websites, electives, colleges, and clubs.
First up, we have Mr. Harold to answer the questions we've all had about why certain websites are blocked at school.
Now on the topic of certain websites that have been blocked by the school, I'm here with Mr. Harold. So, how do you go about blocking certain websites?
So unfortunately, even though we would like to have our students as much access as possible, certain websites have to be blocked for public schools. As a public school, we have to conform with what is called CIPA, the Child Internet Protection Act, which pretty much states any information that exists on the internet that is not appropriate for our school-age children, we have to filter.
All right. So, what software do you use in order to block those kind of websites?
So we have a combination of software and hardware in place. Manufacturer named Sophos, which is one of the leading information security companies in the world. So we're using Sophos for both software and hardware-based approaches to keeping our internet safe.
So if there's a certain site that is blocked and let's say I need it for a school project and I'm having trouble accessing it, is there a certain way that the student could legitimately get around that block?
Absolutely. We can determine whether or not that website would be deemed safe to use, and what you would do is you would contact your teacher, who can contact us, or even you can contact the help desk directly, helpdesk@newfairfieldschools.org, and we can certainly look into whether or not the website can be unblocked.
All right, so you keep using the word safe throughout all this, to ensure safety. What does safe mean as far as searching those certain websites that go?
There's several topics when it comes to safety. One of them would be the information that you are requesting from the internet. Is it safe for you as a user, as a student to view? Does it contain material that's inappropriate? The other thing that happens is you may have websites that seem completely harmless, but they contain malware and other kinds of items that may compromise your computer or our network, and those will get filtered as well.
So, if you can unblock certain sites, going back to the question I stated before, so are all sites that are kind of in that category unblocked as a result of that, or would it just be that website?
It depends. The blocking mechanism is completely dynamic and is run by a worldwide database that gets updated literally 50 times a second. So if there's a single website that we manually unblock for a student, you may still hit certain parts of a website, of that same website, that may not be unblocked, only because there are certain things we can override and certain things we cannot. There's been incidents, for example, several years ago when the New York Times website would get blocked by our filters because the website itself was infiltrated. And at that point, if it's deemed completely unsafe, then no, we cannot even override it.
All right. So, would students be allowed to use phones like hotspots or mobile data to access these websites within the school?
It's a tricky question. Phone hotspots, obviously, going by certain FCC rules, there's nothing we can do about them legally to block them. So yes, you would be able to look at these websites on your personal devices as long as you're not using a New Fairfield account. If you're using your New Fairfield Schools account and a New Fairfield device, then no, you would not be able to do that. But on your own, on your own phone, your own personal computer, yes.
So I've noticed that there are certain websites like Snapchat and Twitter, those kind of social media platforms that are unblocked on the school's Wi-Fi, but then websites such as Facebook and Instagram aren't. Why is that?
Not necessarily with Snapchat, but I'll give you the example of Twitter. Twitter we believe is a very educational tool to use, and we encourage our students and teachers to use it to grow what's called PLNs, professional learning networks. So you can reach out to people, you can learn, and you can collaborate with the world. So we believe Twitter is an extremely educational tool, and that's why it's open. We have yet to find that kind of use on Instagram and Facebook. The other issue that arises is that leads to these decisions is you look at Instagram and you look at Facebook and you look at their content rights. Anything that you upload to Instagram and Facebook, you are relinquishing ownership of. So Facebook now owns your media, and that is something, again, to confirm with certain laws, we cannot allow that within our buildings, our network, that you're able to post things that you now lose ownership of.
So how often do you get requests for like certain websites to be unblocked?
Honestly, not very often. I may get 1 or 2 a month right now, but that's maybe because people may not realize that this option exists. We had a high school staff faculty meeting about 2 weeks ago, and I did let the entire high school faculty know that unblocking websites is definitely an option. Just because it's blocked doesn't mean that you should not use it. Like I mentioned, this comes from a worldwide database of websites, and certainly there may be some categories in there that are perfectly fine to use.
So following up on that question, let's say a student needs to go through that process. Like they said, they're in a class, they need to do research on a topic, they can't access a certain website that would help them with that topic. How long would the process be to like unblock that website?
You're probably looking at about 24 hours in general terms. What would have to happen is we would look at the website, we'll evaluate its safety, and once that evaluation has been completed, it would get unblocked, and then the student would get notified. So I wouldn't leave anything to last minute, but 24 hours is a good rule.
So how is the decision to block a website made?
There isn't really a decision. Most website blocking happens completely dynamic, and we have no control over it. So if websites, especially new websites that spring up every day, and they get scanned by security companies, they get deemed as unsafe or not appropriate for students, they automatically get blocked. And we really don't interfere with that.
So do students, teachers, and administrators all share the same like kind of blocked websites on the?
Yes, they do.
Okay.
We currently do not differentiate between them.
All right, thank you for your time, Mr. Harold.
You're welcome, anytime.
And now back to the studio.
Thank you, Mr. Harold.
Next up, we will look at upcoming colleges that students must recommend.
Housatonic offers associate degree programs in preparation for transfer to four-year institutions, as well as occupational-oriented associate degree and certificate programs, short-term non-credited courses, seminar and workshops, as well as targeted student services help meet community and personal enrichment needs. These programs prepare students for employment and advancement in business, industry, manufacturing, health services, fine arts, theater, digital media, early childhood education, natural sciences, computer arts and information systems, and human services. The college also assists local business and institutions to train and update the skills of their workers. Many activities and events enhance student life at Housatonic, making it a very special place. Student activities, events, and co-curricular programs enrich the total student educational experience by providing a broad range of social, cultural, and awareness events. They have clubs such as the Biology Club, the Business Club, Performing Arts Club, Music Club, and the Psychology Club. Going to Housatonic Community College, the total price for a full-time student is $4,052.
Now we're going to talk to you about electives that are offered at New Fairfield High School. New Fairfield High School offers electives which are one of the most important aspects to incoming freshmen. It is required that freshmen choose electives that are either one full year or one semester long. There are many electives that stand out, like band, clothing, and computer business. Brian Potowski and Zach Brown went around the school and interviewed teachers about their electives. Let's take a look.
Hey everybody, I am Jack Brown, and now I am here with Mr. King, band director of New Fairfield High School. Mr. King, can you give me a brief overview of band?
Sure. Band is a class. It's an elective class, and there are 3 different sections of band. One is for regular band students, and that's anyone who plays a wind instrument, which means trumpets, flutes, clarinets, all those. The second is a percussion class, and that's for students who are drummers that play drums that also want to do mallet instruments. And the third part is a wind ensemble. That's by audition only.
Okay, what kind of learning styles are used in this class?
Learning styles. The learning styles are pretty simple. We use all learning styles. Students have to read music, which is part of the visual, and also they have to be able to hear what's going on as well. So we use all kinds of different styles to perform the music.
All right, what kind of projects are done in band?
The projects are really based around performing the music for concerts. Band is also, we do pep band in the fall, and so every time there's a football home game, we play. So there's a lot of different music, popish to begin at the beginning of the year, and then all of our concert material is different kinds of concert band things. Those are our real projects.
Why should incoming freshmen choose band?
Band is one of those courses where if you play an instrument and you actually like to do music, it's a great opportunity to, number one, meet new people that you don't know. It is sort of a home base for music students that are part of the music department, and it becomes like an instant group that you can have camaraderie with other students that are not just in your grade level. They're also juniors and seniors you're going to be friends with right away. And the most important part of that is, totally forgot the question. What's the question?
Why should incoming freshmen choose this?
Oh, the income perfection, yeah. And it is a great opportunity for students to really take their skills, hone them, and learn what's going on.
All right, what will this experience provide for students in the future?
The best thing that you can do is for students who are planning to go to college, if you're taking part in a band activity and you do it regularly for all 4 years, you have a really good chance of playing at your college. That's the ultimate thing for students, being able to play outside of high school.
All right, what core classes does your elective connect with?
My core class connects with all of them.
Okay. What kind of music do students learn in this class?
They learn all kinds of music. Like I said, we do everything from pop to general, what's called concert band music, which is sort of oldish, but it's also new meaning stuff that's contemporary. And the contemporary style is anything from past 1900.
Besides band, is there any other activities after school summer clubs that you would recommend to freshmen?
Other than band classes?
Yes.
Because we also have jazz ensemble that meets after school. Other than band, I would say students that have some kind of an activity that you like, whether it's to draw or do any other things. If you like to do sports, get involved in something, because you can learn so much about yourself in an activity that you will not just get in class.
Okay. What are some privileges to being in band?
You get into the football games free. Let's see, other privileges. You get to meet me. Other than that, not sure there is too many.
What is the environment in band like?
Like I said, it's kind of like a family down here. That I'm kind of like the weird head of the family, almost like a grandfather, but because I'm getting on the old side, Zach. But you've been a part of the band, so you should know as well. But everyone gets to know each other very quickly.
All right. Do you have any special events for band, like field trips, concerts, etc.?
Well, next year it's our annual. Every 4 years we try to do a Florida trip, and next year is the year that we are planning on going. It's not approved yet, but we're definitely still planning on going to Florida.
All right. How would playing music strengthen people's minds? Like, for example, how would, say, somebody who is just learning pop, like, how would that impact them?
Well, if you're talking a little about mind, the most important part is instrumental playing. Brain activity increases exponentially. I don't know the exact number, but it's a great way to make yourself more understanding of what's going on, because you're going to learn things, and connections are made much easier when you have to read, perform, and do all those 3 things together.
Do you do any summer activities in band?
Here for our school?
Yes.
We meet a few times a year, and we'd have a pre-season marching band camp. That's for students who are participating in marching band.
Thank you, Mr. King.
You're welcome, Zach.
Hi, I'm Ryan Patowski, and I'm here with Mr. Drew, and we're going to be talking about woodworking. Hi, Mr. Drew. Can you give a brief overview of woodworking?
Well, woodworking consists of 4 years, 1, 2, 3, 4. Wood 1, which is an introduction to the basic woodworking techniques and product development. Wood 2 is wood manufacturing, which is an extension of Wood 1, but the projects become more involved with computer generated projects, like computer numerically controlled equipment is used to design and develop the products. And Wood 3 is a enterprise activity, basically, where we select a product, we form a company, we choose a name, we design a logo, we design order forms, advertising, flyers, sales certificates, and stock certificates.
What kind of learning styles are used in this class? Is there a lot of hands-on, writing, listening?
Hands-on demonstration, writing, and listening. It's actually a composition of all of the techniques in education. I demonstrate something, make sure everyone's paying attention. We do a workbook chapter to reinforce the knowledge a little bit, and then the students with their hands-on production actually put into play the things that I've tried to share with them. And that's what really reinforces learning. Learning by doing is the most effective.
What kind of projects are done in this class in a freshman class?
A freshman starts out with a what we call a photograph holder, which is a rectangular shaped piece of wood. They learn how to shape, form, and finish, use the different grits of sandpaper, some basic tools, and how to finish it by applying linseed oil to the end grain, and then the stain and the various top coats, simultaneously working on a piece of acrylic plastic, which they prepare the edges and then engrave a design on the surface, which they attach to the piece using the brass screws.
Why should an incoming freshman or any student pick woodworking as their elective?
Well, it's an extremely beneficial activity. You learn on many levels, and many of the curricular activities reinforce the curriculum of the high school. Whether it's math, we do the calculation of the cost of the project itself, which is the board-foot formula. We calculate the cost of the materials involved by using a catalog to find out the unit cost. And also, you get to be the creative element. You put a little bit of yourself, and you have something that you have immediate feedback that you've created that you can take home and share with others, and it'll stay with you for a lifetime.
What will this experience provide to students in the future?
Well, it reinforces everything they'll need to use on a daily basis, and it shows the implementation of math skills that might have seemed abstract beforehand when they see, such as the computerized router, computerized engraving machines, which operate on the X, Y, and Z axis, and you have the scientific of the density of wood, the hardness of wood, some absorb stains easier than others, and the chemical makeup of the various types of stain, whether it's a water-based, oil-based, alcohol-based, or others.
One last question. What core classes does this elective connect to?
It connects to math because we use all the calculations that I've mentioned before. It connects to science because we always discuss the tree growth and the spring growth and the summer growth, the cambium layer, how the trees grow quickly, and why pine trees are relatively easy to grow in many different climates, and so the wood is less expensive, opposed to the exotic hardwoods, which are extremely expensive. So there you incorporate the science, and the English because we have to write a descriptive essay of what they did and how they did it, and then they have to use the technology, the Excel platform to do the cost analysis, the Microsoft Word to type out what they've written the rough draft for. So it supports pretty much every element of the curriculum, and it's a wonderful, wonderful course that's going to help you throughout your entire life.
Thank you, Mr. Drew.
You're very welcome, Ryan. You're a fine young man. It's a pleasure to know you.
Thank you. I am here with Mr. Meyer. Thank you very much for doing this interview.
Oh, you're welcome.
Can you give a brief overview on your elective?
Okay, my elective is, we call it mechanical drafting. It's also called CAD, or computer-aided drawing. There's been lots of different names on it over the year, but it's a drafting class, specifically CAD, computer-aided drawing.
What kind of learning styles are used in this class?
Everything we do is hands-on. It's project-based. You're actually doing something, you're creating something, you're making something, a drawing of some type, either on a drafting board by hand with a pencil, or you're using a computer. with various software to create something.
Speaking of which, what type of software do you use?
We have three main types of software packages that we use. Probably the oldest is called AutoCAD. It's been around the longest. It's a two-dimensional drawing program. It's a workhorse of the industry. It does a lot of things great. After that, we use a program called SolidWorks, which is a 3D drawing program, three-dimensional drawing program, or a 3D modeling program, actually is better said. And it's a lot of fun because you're actually creating stuff in 3D. You're actually drawing in 3D, creating actual models. And then the last one we use for architecture is called Chief Architect. And that's a 2D/3D drawing program. So you start to create stuff in 2D, and then in the background the computer is generating the actual 3D model.
What kind of projects are done in this class?
It's broken into basically two different halves. Each year, especially the first and second year, there's very specific things the students accomplish. The first half is mechanical, and the second half of the year is architectural. So architectural students create a plot plan, a floor plan for a house that they choose. And they create all the plans, probably about 4 or 5 different things, including elevations, the foundation plan, different pictures of the model. It actually creates the 3D model, the software, so it's pretty neat. Then the other part is the mechanical side, and that has to do with creating, models of basically anything that could be made. So I always like to point to an object on the wall, and I tell the kids that, you know what, everything in this it's a plane, it's a Boeing Super Hornet F-8, and everything in this plane has to be manufactured, okay, down to the smallest parts, okay. So everything in this drawing has to have a set of plans that could actually be used to actually make the part. So that's the mechanical side of things. So when you think of what we're doing here, it's the mechanical drawing and the architectural side.
Why should incoming freshmen or anybody choose this class?
I think, well, a lot of students choose this class because they like to draw, and they like to also be on the computer. That's one of the things, two of the things that we offer. We do drawing by hand. We create actual sketches, and then from that sketch we'll actually create the drawing, and then we'll actually create the model. So that appeals to a lot of students, you know.
What will this experience provide for students in the future?
Well, I think nowadays, because students can actually draw in 3D and they can actually model stuff in 3D, they can actually produce working models of things, which is something we haven't always been able to do. For example, I've had a student this year actually created the working model of a V8 engine. A V6 engine. So we created all the workings of it, you know, from the pistons, the crankshaft, the camshaft, the block, the heads, and everything else. He assembled it right inside the computer, and he actually got it to actually animate so you could actually see the pistons going up and down and all that kind of stuff, which is something we have never been able to do at the high school level before. So,
what kind of core classes does this connect to?
Well, this would connect to math. We do a lot of math in class. Basic math, though, you know, for example, when we're doing plot plans, we have to figure out bearings, so we have to understand angles. We have to figure out areas of triangles and that kind of stuff. But there's a lot of geometric construction that goes on, so we're always talking about angles. We're always talking about geometry, I guess.
Thank you again for coming out and letting us do this interview.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you very much, Ryan. Thank you for having me.
Hello, I'm Zach Brown. I'm here with Mr. Gawa, the course director. Mr. Gawa, thank you for being with us today.
Thank you for having me, Zach.
All right, first question. Can you give a brief overview of your elective, Mr. Gawa?
Microphone. Sure. So my elective is concert choir, and in that class what we do is we sing a variety of music, different styles, different genres, different challenge levels, and so we learn how to use our voices and work with them, how to stand, how to breathe as singers, and how to put on good performances. We also learn how to read music and understand it in cultural contexts as well.
What kind of learning styles are in this class?
This class uses all kinds of learning styles. So there's auditory learning. We learn by hearing music. We learn visually by reading music. We talk about English and text analysis. And we move too as we sing too. So almost all kinds of learning are used in this music class.
Okay. What kind of projects are done in this class, Mr. Ganwa?
I don't know if you'd call them projects, but we have multiple concerts every year. There are chamber ensemble concerts. There are concert choir and concert band concerts. So we work for a semester or so on this music, and we put it together, and we have performances where people from the community, people's families can come see it and see what we've been working on so hard all these many months.
Why should incoming freshmen choose chorus?
It is a great community to be a part of. We work together on making this music. We get to express ourselves and have fun with what we're doing, and people become great friends. You get to know people from all grades because we're all together in the concert choir classes. So beyond just enjoying the music that we do, I think the community in the class is one of the biggest points why I think people would enjoy taking the class.
What will this experience provide for students in the future?
What do you mean by that question? Music classes teach you a variety of life skills. They teach you good time management, good rehearsal practice, how to be both independent and work in a group. And so those skills can be applied to anything. In terms of learning in the class, as you become more advanced in your vocal ability and your musical knowledge, there are other classes like chamber singers that you can join, which perform more music at a more challenging level. So students who are in concert choir for multiple years and work on those skills can have that ensemble to look forward to.
Okay. What kind of music do students learn in chorus?
We learn all kinds of music. We do some pop songs, some music theater songs, some more classical music, and music from different cultures like African music, music in other languages. Pretty much everything that is fun and interesting to sing, we sing.
All right. What is the environment in chorus like?
Like I said, it's a very friendly, close environment. You have people from all grades together, so there are freshmen who become good friends with seniors. We all work together, we support each other. It's a class where you're encouraged to just try your best. If things go wrong, if your voice cracks, if you make a big mistake, we laugh at it, move on, fix it. And so it's a really liberating and free and expressive environment.
Is there any field trips that chorus does?
Yes, every 4 years the choir and the band take a trip to Disney where we go and perform there as well as enjoy the parks. And next year, 2017 is when we're going, and in the past the concert choir has also gone on other trips to places like Carnegie Hall, so trips like that will possibly be happening in the future as well.
Thank you, Mr. Gadwa.
Hi, I'm now here with Mrs. Barrere, and can you give me a brief overview of your elective?
Yes, I teach clothing 1, 2, and foods in the department known as Family Consumer Science at New Fairfield High School. Clothing 1 is the only course that freshmen are actually eligible to take as an elective. We are in applied art, which they need for graduation requirements, and I'm the only teacher who teaches it.
What kind of learning styles are used in this class?
Oh, this class has a lot. We really try to focus on tactile, obviously for fabrics and working with different kinds of fabrics and weaves, as well as visual. So for students who are visual, who need to have the visual attention, I mean, obviously when you look around, there's a lot going on in here. But definitely students have to be able to feel things and be able to assess what they're feeling and dealing with. So those are 2 major learning styles that we use.
What kind of projects are done in this class?
Okay, clothing 1 is very different than clothing 2. What you see behind me is clothing 2. But clothing 1 students come in and they learn the basic fundamentals of how to use a sewing machine. So what we do is the first project that they make is actually hand sewn. So we work on different hand sewing skills, including 5 different hand sewing techniques. button sewing, different kinds of buttons, and then we go into the machines where the students will make a sewing kit first, which is pretty easy, just to get them acquainted with the machine and all the parts. Then they move on to a classic reversible apron, which is very traditional for most family consumer science teachers. And we then move on to clothing, a clothing of their choice. They usually, as a group, will decide. So some things in the past, we've done our mini skirts, shorts, and we just finished up flannel pajama bottoms. They also, I'll throw in, they also make lanyards just for fun, then they start having a good time with it. So that's pretty much what we do in Clothing 1.
Why should an incoming freshman choose this class?
Oh, this class is fun. I always say that this class is like the color in the coloring book of New Fairfield High School. A lot of districts do not offer this anymore. This class teaches students so much about what they can do further in their careers, different options that they have. It also gives them skills that they'll need for self-management and independence as they get older. Plus, they love using the machines, which we always like akin to driving, because you have a lot going on with your head and your hands and your feet, which they love the idea of that when they're 14 and coming in. So it's very, very skills-based, which is fun.
What will this experience provide for students in the future?
We really focus on getting the students to understand that the careers in textiles and clothing and fashion design are endless. I mean, a lot of them haven't even been created yet. We do spend a lot of time in projects. The students have to create projects on famous designers, famous stores like Barney's and Ralph Lauren, famous fashion trends, because I really want them to get excited about fashion as their future, especially because we have Manhattan right around the corner. So it's really exciting. We spend a lot of time in both clothing classes on career choices.
And finally, what Common Core classes does this attach to?
Definitely attaches to math. We spend a lot of time in measurement with a lot of different measuring tools. We actually have measuring tools down here that the math department doesn't even use. It's also very artistic. So students who are involved in like fine arts, like in the other classes that we have, love a class like this because the arts, the creativity that you express in a subject like this is directly related to the arts. And definitely some science when it comes to the different kinds of fabrics.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Our final piece for this edition of Student News is about the clubs offered at New Fairfield High School. These clubs range from the Italian Club to boys and girls sports clubs. Let's take a look.
All right, hi, I'm Tommy Ciardi, and I'm representing the boys tennis team for New Fairfield. It's a spring sport, and we typically have practices every weekday, matches mixed in between with the season. If we do well, we can make it to SWCs and states, and it's just a really great sport, really great team. The people are fun, coach is great, and hope you can join.
Okay, so we're here with the boys soccer team. We meet every day after school during the fall season, and we win games and play in the SWC and state playoffs.
Let's go Rebels.
Hi, I'm Adriana, and this is Fiona, and we're part of the Shakespeare Club. And in Shakespeare Club, our goal is to read Shakespeare and analyze Shakespeare and just make it fun and interesting to a new audience, because Shakespeare really is interesting, and it can be if you read it the right way.
I'm Reed Ottinger. I'm the D-end and left tackle for the New Fairfield Rebels. We like to do before the season, we do spring football, and we also do lifting challenges and 7-on-7 tournaments for wide receivers and running backs. We just like to have good times.
So we're New Fairfield volleyball, and what else? We played like how many games this season? 19. What? When do you guys meet? We have practice every day after school, and we have about 3 games a week, and we play about 19 games. Our season starts in late August, and we have tryouts, and then we have summer conditioning, probably 2-3 times a week in the morning, and the track, and yeah, we do tons of camps over the summer.
So this is the New Fairfield softball team, and we play about 20 games a season, and we do a lot of after school practices and on the weekends for about 2 hours every day. And then we actually made it to state tournament this year, and we're hoping to keep making it every year.
Hi, I'm Matthew Rossi. I'm the editor-in-chief of the Rebel Journal. We're an online school newspaper that we collect articles on varying topics, such as political issues, historical issues, and different social things. It can be on anything you're passionate about, and it's a great way to know what's happening in our school school and what your peers think.
This is the debate club, and I'm Luis Toscano, the president for next year as of right now. And we meet on Wednesdays every week to discuss different topics and debate about them. We have talked about the death penalty, gun laws, and abortion for 3 of our topics specifically, and we really aim to join the CDA next year, the Connecticut Debate Association, create intra-club debates like arguing with the Bible Club and other such clubs. And we also aim to start a middle school debate organization, host a debate tournament in our school, and go to the Yale tournament nearby.
So we're the tech crew of New Fairfield High School. Basically what we do is we provide maintenance and we provide sets for the auditorium. Now there are 3 different parts to tech, despite what it might sound like. The first part is the tech crew, which they build the sets for the school plays. Then there are the light guys, which obviously deal with all the lights in there. They do maintenance on all of them. They make sure everything's working and all that. And then there are the sound guys, which deal with obviously all the speakers. They deal with all the sounds, microphones. They basically make sure that you guys are heard in our auditorium. So now with tech, we've built sets for plays and musicals such as A to Get Your Gun, Beauty and the Beast. We did it for Young Frankenstein last year. Sets, they usually vary depending on what play it is. We usually try our best when we build sets, and we try to go all out. The light guys go all out when they do the lights, you know. They try their best. They come up with some really awesome creations with colors. And the sound guys usually are just like, you know what, we'll do our best as well. Everybody puts in their 120%, so everything works out all right.
My name is Joshua Guglielmo, and I'm the leader of the Bible Club. And we meet once a week, usually on Thursdays. It's about 40 minutes long, and during that time we'll talk about different scriptures from the Bible and scriptures that relate to today, and we'll have a time of prayer and some fellowship, and yeah, so if you would like to come, you could join us.
Hi, I'm Sophia Hanisch, and I'm here with the Spanish Club. We meet once a month, every Tuesday or Thursday, and what we do are different activities and discussions about Spanish life and culture.
My name is Nick Trewortha, and I represent Italian Club. So what we do is we meet once a month every year, and we pretty much learn the Italian culture. We speak Italian, as you can see, in Italian, and we also cook Italian foods, and we do all sorts of fun stuff like play bocce.
All right, hi, I'm Tessa, and we're representing Latin Club. In Latin Club, you'll be able to experience, as we're falling, you'll be able to experience all of the mythological side as well as the side of learning Latin as a language, even though you will not speak it originally. For our club, you'll be traveling also to Italy over the spring break this year, and that Italian trip is led by our Dr. Smurthwaite, who is the leader of our club. Thank you very much.
All right, hi, we're Academic Decathlon, and this year I'm the captain. I'm Sarah Handow. We're a student-run group, and as the name suggests, we're in an academic group, and we test in 10 subjects against other teams to try and get the highest scores. And this year our topic is India, and as we've won states the last 3 years, we're hoping to win states and go to nationals in Alaska during spring break this year. We normally meet 3 times a week in the fall and in the winter, and then as we get closer to spring, which is our competition season, we tend to meet more, and then we have 1 week that we refer to as conditioning week, where we stay at the school later to study and review all of our topics. But it's really a fun group, and we get to go on field trips during the year for cultural immersion.
Hi, I'm Sophia Hanisch, and this is New Fairfield Key Club. We meet every other Monday, and we do community service projects every month.
Hey there, my name is Ben Weiss, and I'm a member of the New Fairfield Rebels boys swim and dive team. We're a pretty small team, but we are up and coming, and we have lots of new faces, and we're really excited to start a new year. We start in the winter. We're a winter season sport, and we go through the winter through March. It's a long season, but it's well worth it.
Okay, so we are the swim and dive team. Basically, it's pretty self-explanatory. We swim a lot, competitively against other high school teams in the area, and also dive, and it's all together. So that's pretty much all we do.
We meet after schools every day from like 2 to 4. We also have some dry land days which go about a half an hour extra, and then and on Saturdays we meet normally in the morning. Sometimes we have 2 practices on a Saturday, and every once in a while we throw in a morning practice, but that's not very common.
Every time before a swim meet, before every swim meet, we have pasta parties too to get carb up and get ready for the meet and just team bond. We're part of the girls soccer team, and we have practices. We'll start doing summer practices during the weekend on weekends, and then we'll have tryouts, and then from there we'll start to practice the majority of the week and start playing our games and having our season.
I am George Wismar, Chief Master Sergeant in the Civil Air Patrol. In the Civil Air Patrol, we operate as an auxiliary of the Air Force, where we keep to the 4 main guidelines, where we do aerospace, leadership lessons, PT, and safety lessons. We meet just like a regular class, unlike these other clubs. So usually it'll be, I believe, A2, and so you'll see us every other day where we meet up and we do interesting lesson plans. The Civil Air Patrol, since it's been instituted in the past, I'd say 6 or 7 years, has made quite a list of accomplishments. Even this year, I am part of the Color Guard, which has won the state championship for drill, and we continue on to win hopefully New England's, and in years past we have also won this award. We also have multiple banners, and they are Squadron of Merit and Squadron of Distinction, which show that the blue ones represent we are best in the state, and then this gold one in the center represents us being the best in New England, which is quite prestigious.
Hi, so I'm Rachel. I'm the president of DECA this year, and DECA is a club associated with the marketing class here at the high school. And what we do is we put on all these events like the fashion show and Mr. Rebel, and we just raise money, we do fundraisers, and we also compete in state competitions, which is a really great experience. And so because we're part of a class, we meet and do all of our things in class, unless you're an officer, and then you meet then you have other meetings and you run the whole chapter. So it's a lot of fun, and it's a great class to take.
So our club is New Fairfield High School Field Hockey. We are a fall sport at the New Fairfield High School. We have a freshman team, a JV team, and a varsity team. And the varsity coach is Karen Nell. She's super nice. Our upcoming events is we have conditioning. We're going to start the second week of July, and we're going to meet and we're going to condition for the upcoming season. We're going to do like running, sprints, workouts. We're going to be in super good shape for the fall. And then we have a New Fairfield field hockey training camp, which is August 7th through the 13th. And it's 9 a.m. to 12 noon. And it's going to be a lot of fun, and you're going to learn a lot of skills for the upcoming season. Play field hockey.
Hi, so we're the Egalitarian Club. Now, we talk about the different human rights issues that are prevalent in our community, such as sexism, racism, and all of these other topics and we really want to make a change and a difference. Now, to make a positive role in our community, we organize awareness weeks, fundraisers, etc. to help make people feel included and create a nice atmosphere. And we usually meet on Tuesdays or Wednesdays, and we're a new club starting this year, and we really want people to join.
This is New Fairfield Model UN. We are a club that models the United Nations. We have students, members who pick a country out of the UN member countries, and we debate current world topics in perspective of your country. You get to learn all about the world, different perspectives that are out there. We meet every Monday, and we discuss things in the library after school. We also go to Allegiant Ivy League conferences. We're going to 2 this year, went to 2 this last year too. We went to Yale and Cornell. this past year, and we had an excellent time. We won the Outstanding Small Delegation at Cornell, which is a big accomplishment for us, and we hope to win many more awards. We had a lot of individual awards. We had Jake Stoffel and Colin Pate win some awards. Aaron Mahone won an award. We also make Kiva loans to entrepreneurs in undeveloped countries. We have made $600 in loans so far. We currently have $300 out right now. And we debate the topics, we learn perspectives, we also contribute to a world in a way that's tangible, in a way that people see and realize in the world. So it's really a great club to get into, and I recommend that a lot of kids get into it and get into it early, and experience for all 4 years. It's been a great year, and we hope that all the kids that join will have a great time. And I'm sure if you talk to anyone who's been in it, they'll tell you that it was a great experience.
I'm the treasurer of Math Honor Society, and this is our sign. And basically what we do when we meet about every other Wednesday is we talk about interesting math topics and prepare ourselves for meets that we go to, which is probably 4 times a year at different schools around the area. And Math Honor Society is all about enriching and math enrichment and spreading the joy of math. And a kind of good thing about it is most teachers here offer extra credit for us. Not a lot, but most. That contradicts itself, and math is really fun. Thank you.
Hello everybody, we are Tri-M Music Honor Society. The Tri-M stands for Modern Music Masters. So as I said, we're an honor society, and basically we promote music within the school. Every year we host an annual talent show, and we also do an end of the year trip, sometimes something like a concert or Broadway. And we have free food. We meet once a week, usually on Tuesdays, and guys definitely should join if you do music or choir or anything like that.
Hi. This is Aporia, New Fairfield's resident literary magazine club. We meet every Wednesday at right after school ends, and we publish and are responsible for the distribution of the school's literary magazine, which features student submissions of all sorts, writing, photography, art, you name it. And if you're interested in any of that stuff, you can come and join us and submit your own stuff, and we would certainly love to feature your material within our issue.
This is Anime Club. I'm Allison.
I'm Stephanie.
And like I said, this is Anime Club. So we learn about Japanese culture through food, film, animation, drawings, and also through reading and everything like that. We host a lot of parties, and we teach people like drawing tutorials and a bunch of other things if they're interested in doing this. Then we watch anime and we do things. We meet every other Friday, and it depends though on what the schedule is, obviously. Yeah. Have any other points?
We are also like one of the funniest people you will ever meet, because we are really open. We talk about a lot of funny things, like some slightly inappropriate, but nobody really cares. We're really accepting of everybody, because we've got a lot of different people types in our group. So it's just a really fun, laid-back, chill group.
We're like a big, geeky, dysfunctional family. And even if you aren't into anime specifically, but like, say you want to learn how to draw, or you just want to learn about Japan, it's still a great club to join. And yeah, we like having the more the merrier.
Hi, we're the traditional gaming club. We play Magic the Gathering mostly, but we'll really play any board game or card game if you bring it in. We meet on Tuesdays usually, and let's see what else. We don't really go to any competitions or anything, but we could set something up because there is Friday Night Magic that we could set up and everyone go to. But beyond that, we haven't really done much besides meeting on Tuesdays. So, yeah.
So, essentially, our club, we make television, as you can clearly see from the person recording you right now. So what we do is we make TV. We basically think of ideas for different stuff we want to do, whether it be in New Fairfield or out of it, and then we just edit it, do all that stuff, put it on TV. What's the next question? We meet Thursdays after school from 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock.
Well, that's our show for now. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have any ideas for a segment or wish to get involved in the Broadcast Journalism Club, contact us at nfbroadcastclub@newfairfieldschools.org. I'm Samantha Salborn.
And I'm Brandon Gasparino.
And this was New Fairfield High School Student News.